Lehem Missions Foundation is non-governmental organization NGO, non-profit organization, non-denominational missions foundation to the Jewish people. We operate in one Newman Fellowship activities and missions mobilization in the Messianic community. We are in ministry with Teshuvah Trumpet Ministries International, Aliyah Raising Israel, PNG, Christ for the Nation and Israel Ministries International. We stand with Israel. Romans 9, 4-5. The people of Israel, they were made God's children. The Shekinah has been with them. The covenants are theirs. Likewise the giving of the Torah, the temple service and the promises. The patriarchs are theirs. And from them, as far as his physical descent is concerned, came the Messiah who is over all. Praised be Adonai forever. Amen. If you want to support Temple Mount projects, Beit Lehem Missions Foundation is mobilizing Papua New Guinea, directly connecting you to Temple Mount. We work alongside Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, Be'adinu and Out of Zion Ministry. See the link below and send us your message, or you go to blmfmo.wordpress.com/contact or messianic7news.wordpress.com/contact. You will be directed to our Vice President or to our Deputy Director Mobilization or our Administrator for assistance.
Thank you for the support. I want to mention again all of Papua New Guinea people, East Sepik, Yangon and Maprik and Balif. You are now connected to us through Beit Lehem Missions Foundation, alongside with Be'aden organization.
The blazing torch. The nations will see your vindication and all kings your glory. Give. Romans 15:27. They were pleased to do it, but the fact is that they owe it to them. For if the Gentiles have shared with the Jews in spiritual matters, then the Gentiles clearly have a duty to help the Jews in material matters. Go. Genesis 12:2-3. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you are to be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, but I will curse anyone who curses you, and by you all the families of the earth will be blessed.
Messianic 7 Newscast, broadcasting world news, current affairs, events surrounding modern-day Israel and the Jewish people, what the Torah holds for us, what is happening to the Gentiles. God's plan for the entire planet revolves around the physical and spiritual restoration of Israel and the consequent return of the Messiah Yeshua. Whether or not the nations realize it, world events are swirling around Israel and God's agenda, not the other way around. It is our hope that we can connect for you the prophetic dots between God's plan for mankind, Israel, and today's news.
Omnisani, right now, we have almost no rights on the Temple Mount only because we're Jews. This is our Jewish state. We cannot accept the situation where a Muslim can go and pray and a Jew who prays will get arrested.
Hey, we're here on the closed Temple Mount for Jews for the 7th day. We're here to protest about the closing of the mount to Jews only, while yesterday night dozens of Muslims on the mount up there shouted to kill Jews, while we are here staying and hoping to get inside the mount to pray to our holiest site. And also it is so painful to see the PLO flag waving up on the Dome of the Rock while the police don't do anything to remove it. And many tourists here also see it and ask why there is a PLO flag on the Temple Mount. So this is the situation here from the entrance to the mount. We will be here to protest until the mount will be in our hands.
By 5,000 participants, Tom's massage to Balaf in East Sepik, he addresses the people during the Feast of Tabernacles about how the current situation on the Temple Mount is going. Recently on the October 9th, 2022, 15th of Tishri, 5783 in the Jewish calendar.
Hello to you all, my dear friends from Papua New Guinea. I'm really happy to be connected to you. It is my pleasure. It is really exciting for me to talk to you today. First Vinslon Alop, Grace, Songi, Sim, and Devorah Topaz, which I'm connected with personally, Malka Topaz, and Pastor Jesse and Yuna. All of the people that are helping us as an organization and the state of Israel and the Jewish people here in Jerusalem and in the Promised Land, the Holy Land. First, I want to explain for you what we are doing as an organization, what I do as the executive director of Beyadenu, formerly called the Temple Mount Heritage Foundation. So we are representing the Jewish people that are ascending the Temple Mount, the holiest place in Judaism and actually the holiest place in the world. That we as Jews have to protect and maintain the Jewish presence inside because we want to rebuild the third temple. As you know, something like 2,000 years ago, the temple was burned and destroyed by the Romans, and from back then, the Jewish people expelled from the land of Israel. And we got back here in very lately, not so long time ago. The state of Israel founded in 48. So we are pretty new in this land after 2,000 years of exile. And we're back to the land of Israel as Jews. And now our next mission is to build the third temple. And by your financial support, by your warm words even, and support from all over the world and from Papua New Guinea, we have the support to do it. We have many difficulties, as you may see on the updates that we are sending for you. But this is how things will go naturally. To build the temple, it's something that will cost a lot of efforts, and we are here to do it. With your help, we are happy to connect you to the Jewish people and to the state of Israel and to the Temple Mount. I will be very glad to invite you to visit Israel and visit Jerusalem and to take you to see the Temple Mount and all of the holiest places in Israel. You will be my guests, of course, and thank you for the support. I want to mention again all of Papua New Guinea people, East Sepik, Yangon, and Maprik, and Balif. You are now connected to us through Beit Lehem Missions Foundation, alongside with Beyadenu organization. I want to thank Yangon and Wingay and the Messianic congregation in Port Moresby, who stood with us for the Temple Mount in the last year, from 2021 to 2022. Financially, it helped us very much to promote things on the Temple Mount. I want to thank also Maprik, Tabernacle of David congregation, and again, thank you very much. I cannot explain how much your support helping us to promote our activity in the Temple Mount. We are bringing a lot of Jewish ascenders to the Temple Mount. We're fighting there. Unfortunately, we have to fight to promote our situation, to be able in the near future to build the third temple, to blow the shofar freely on the Temple Mount, and to promote the Temple Mount for all of the nations, Jews, Christians, even Muslims that can help us and be a part of it. We are willing to do so peacefully. And again, I want to thank you all for your great support and wish you a happy holiday, happy Sukkot holiday, and a happy New Year. And thank you for your support. I'm here for you, and we'll be happy to host you here in Israel and in Jerusalem. Thank you very much. Bless you.
Hello, my good friends from Papua New Guinea.
We need your support. Visit our website www.blmfmo.wordpress.com/contact/ and send us an email.
Thanks for your support and your payments for the temple and for the Temple Mount. So first I wanted to say thank you to all of our supporters, Balif TOD Congregation, Yanguro Messianic, Balif TOD and Aliyah Center, Wingay Messianic Community, Wasara Messianic Community, and Port Moresby. I want first to thank you all for the support and your generous donations that helps us a lot promoting the Temple Mount for the sake of all of humanity, all of the world, all of the people. And I want to talk shortly about the projects that we will have this year, and also your support is very helpful by doing it. You can see on our updates in English that we are working very hard to get and promote and make as much as we can people to ascend the Temple Mount. Actually the destination we have for this year is 75,000 Jews that will ascend the mount, and we're about to do it by paying to buses that will take people to the Temple Mount from all across Israel. We will also working right now to promote new laws according to the Mount with our new government in Israel that will be decided shortly. We purchased lately some new cameras to show to you also and all the world what's happening on the Temple Mount, the good things that are happening and also the bad things that we should improve. Every camera costs about, let's say, $500. So your support will be very helpful for that also. And we added to our team of working another 2 or 3 people lately that can work harder to maintain the everything we do, the good momentum on the Temple Mount, and we shall proceed and do it more and more. And I want to thank you for your support, and I hope to see you soon. Maybe if you will come visit here in Israel and on the Temple Mount, and surely I will be glad to visit you one day. And again, I want really to say thank you from all of our people and workers, and you have my appreciation. Thank you.
Papua New Guinea delegation donates gold for rebuilding temple in October 8, 2007. A delegation of 34 people from Papua New Guinea visited the Western Wall last week and donated a kilo of gold and several $1,000s to the Temple Institute, an organization dedicated to rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem. The delegation's participants, who define themselves as members of the Bible Circle, told the Institute's workers that they study the Bible on a regular basis. The PNG visitors at Temple Institute recently, they read the prophecy of Zechariah, where it says, "And they that are far off shall come and build in the temple of the Lord, and ye shall know that the Lord of hosts hath sent me unto you." Head of the Institute, Rabbi Yehuda Glick, Chief Executive Director of Temple Institute from 2005 to 2009, was there to receive gold, gift, and offering. From Papua New Guinea and West Papua, Rabbi Yehuda Glick told Yenet, "There was even a married couple who gave me their wedding rings and said they wanted to marry God. The scene reminded me of the legends of King Solomon I read when I was young, and pictures of the Queen of Sheba bringing gold and precious gems to the temple. The vision is literally coming to life before our eyes, Glick said enthusiastically. We now hear from Rabbi Yehuda Glick.
Joining me today in the studio is Knesset member and activist Rabbi Yehuda Glick. Rabbi Glick is the head of the Temple Mount Heritage Foundation, which seeks to allow Jews greater freedom to pray at the Temple Mount. Thank you so much for joining us.
Shalom, Natasha.
Shalom, Rabbi.
Blessing to all people watching us from Israel, bringing the light of Jerusalem to all of the world.
Beautiful. So let's begin with talking about the Temple Mount a little bit. You know, this is one of your most important causes. Why is religious freedom of Jews on the Temple Mount so important to you?
The Temple Mount is the holiest place in the world, not only for Jews, for billions of people around the world who believe in the Bible. And Jerusalem is called in the Bible as a city of peace. Yerushalayim comes from the word Ir Shalom. And that's why also what everything I stand for, and even my office in the Knesset is called Jerusalem of Peace or JerusalemofPeace.com. And our obligation is to turn the Temple Mount into a place which is a world center for peace. Now, a world center of calling in the name of God, and God's name is Shalom. And therefore, it's important that the Temple Mount should be a symbol of religious tolerance for all over the world. That's what it should be, the Jerusalem of peace. That's where it should be.
Now, why has the Muslim community expressed so much opposition to changing the current status quo that we're seeing at the Temple Mount right now?
I'm not sure it's the Muslims. I think that what we see, the greatest enemy of the world today, are the radical Muslims who refer to God as exclusive. He belongs to them. And I think that when I speak about Jerusalem of peace, it means that God's name is peace. It means that God is not exclusive, He's inclusive. And God wants the Temple Mount to be a house of prayer for all nations. And therefore, as my activity for JerusalemofPeace.com, that's what we're doing. We're calling upon all the nations to actually recognize or join this covenant of recognize Jerusalem as a world city of peace.
Now, have you had any support from members of the Muslim community?
Yes, I've personally been a guest in Muslim communities in Italy, in Turkey, and even here in Israel. Unfortunately, many of the moderate Muslims are afraid of the radical Islam. By the way, people don't understand it, but in the last 70 years, 12 million Muslims have been killed by Muslims. Some of the greatest victims of the radical Islam are, first of all, Muslims. And we see it happening in Syria, we see it happening in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, and it's all over. And therefore, our attempt, the Temple Mount, should be a world center for peace. And therefore, when I say that we have now millions of people around the world who are signing the Jerusalem Covenant, that Jerusalem Covenant says we recognize Jerusalem as a city of peace. That we have Christians there, we have Muslims there, all people gather in JerusalemofPeace.com signing the covenant saying that Jerusalem is a city of peace. And therefore, when I meet with people around the world and I invite people all over, join us, join this international call. Go in and sign the Jerusalem Covenant. Sign the covenant that says Jerusalem is a city of peace. And that's exactly what I'm working for and trying to promote. JerusalemofPeace.com says we support that Jerusalem should be a world city.
Now, speaking of cooperation, let's talk a little bit about religious pluralism. What is your position in regards to religious pluralism at the Western Wall, which we know women for a long time have not been allowed to pray in the manner that many would like to. Should they be allowed to sing, wear tefillin, read Torah?
It comes the same idea. If I say Jerusalem is a city of peace, peace means win-win, means respecting all people. It means that when I see women praying at the Western Wall, I don't say they're there to pray because they want to be provocative, vice versa. I trust that this is what they really want, and we, as a Jewish state, and we as a city who recognize Jerusalem as a city of all the people of the world, and definitely the Jews around the world, the people of Israel around the world, the Western Wall should be open, full of tolerance, allowing people, men, women, to pray the way they feel. And there's no reason in the world why a person who prays, it should be offensive to others. Just like when I say, allow me to pray on Temple Mount, and there's no reason in the world why this should be offensive to Muslims, at the temple, at the Western Wall, women, men who want to pray should be allowed to pray, and there's no reason in the world why, if I pray in a certain way and somebody else prays otherwise, that should bother me. The Temple Mount should be a house of prayer for all nations. It doesn't mean all nations have to convert. Each nation prays in the way they believe, and in the Jewish people also. People we should respect.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of kind of acceptance of these changes to be very, very difficult, especially in the government. And we
should go against any coercion. Freedom is a basic when you're talking about of peace. And if I speak about Jerusalem as a city of peace, Jerusalem city of peace means that JerusalemofPeace.com calls for us to allow to pray the way they want, to serve the way they want, to serve God the way they want, to be accepted, to respect that there are others who think otherwise.
Well, it's refreshing to hear your standpoint on this. Thank you so much for joining us, Rabbi. Toda Rabba. Thank you
very much, and blessing to all of you.
Shalom to my dear friends from Papua New Guinea. I was so excited when I got a phone call this week, a message in the WhatsApp from Papua New Guinea, the congregations around the country that are lovers of Israel and are praying for the building of the temple. And for me, it took me back several years ago, in 2007, in 2009, when I was director of the Temple Institute in Jerusalem, who are building the vessels for the third temple. And I was approached by a group from Papua New Guinea who brought us gold for the rebuilding of the temple, for the vessels. We used the gold in the crown of the high priest. I remember when they contacted us then, and I was turned on, and it right away reminded me of Zechariah 6, verse 15, that those from far will take part in the rebuilding of the temple. And for me, when I received the WhatsApp message this week, it really took me back to then. So today, my name is Rabbi Yehuda Glick. I'm the director of Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, and I'm so excited to send my blessings from Jerusalem to the Balif Tabernacle of David congregation, to all the Messianic congregation of East and West Sepik, to Port Moresby, and of course to Chief Sanos and Margaret Sanos, and Vincent Iwan, and Jesse and Doris Yalan, and Pastors Hans and Jenla, Pastor Yishai and Wayona, and Sim and Devorah Topaz. All of you are blessed from Jerusalem. The Shalom Jerusalem Foundation that I have the privilege of running talks about the next level, the next generation of Zionism. You know all that the state of Israel is not just another state. It's not just a geographical place where some people move to. It's the fulfillment of the words of the book, coming out of the book, materializing and becoming a reality. The Jewish people came back home to their homeland, but we have a mission, we have a goal, we have an assignment. The assignment is to call the Temple Mount as the house of prayer for all nations, to serve as a source of blessing to all the families of the earth. So yes, Zionism Generation 1 was the return of the people of Israel back to Israel. Zionism Generation 2 was the uniting of Jerusalem in 1967. Zionism Generation number 3 is turning Zionism not to only a Jewish national phenomena, but a global international phenomena where all the nations are connected to Jerusalem, to Zion, to the Temple Mount, to the Golden Gate, to the temple itself, and turning it into a house of prayer of all nations. Not all nations converting to Judaism, no, but all nations with their uniqueness. So it's my privilege and honor to bless you all from Jerusalem this week in all the synagogues around the world on Shabbat. We will be reciting in the Torah the portion that deals with the first time the location of the temple is mentioned. It is the binding of Isaac in Mount Moriah. The faith that Abraham taught us all, the devotion to God. This devotion I see and recognize in the people of Papua New Guinea, who brought gold for the building of the vessels of the temple, and who are now connected by their support, by their contributions, by their soul and heart for all the activity in turning Temple Mount to a house of prayer for all nations. Please receive my blessings that each and every one of you shall be a flame in the menorah of God to bring His light all around the world. Shalom. God bless you all. Yehuda Glick, Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, shalomjerusalem.org, shalomjerusalem.org. That is Zionism Next Generation. Blessings to all of you.
Beit Lehem Missions Foundation is non-governmental organization NGO, non-profit organization, non-denominational missions foundation to the Jewish people. We operate in one Newman Fellowship activities and missions mobilization in the Messianic community. We are in ministry with Teshuvah Trumpet Ministries International, Aliyah Raising Israel, PNG, Christ for the Nation and Israel Ministries International. We stand with Israel, Romans 9:4-5. The people of Israel, they were made God's children. The Shekinah has been with them. The covenants are theirs. Likewise the giving of the Torah, the temple service and the promises. The patriarchs are theirs. And from them, as far as his physical descent is concerned, came the Messiah who is over all. Praised be Adonai forever. Amen. Mission to support Israel. Pray. Psalm 122:6-9. Pray for Shalom in Yerushalayim. May those who love you prosper. May Shalom be within your ramparts, prosperity in your palaces. For the sake of my family and friends, I say, Shalom be within you. For the sake of the house of Adonai our God, I will seek your well-being. Isaiah 62:1-7. For Zion's sake I will not be silent. For Yerushalayim's sake I will not rest, until her vindication shines out brightly and her salvation like a blazing torch. The nations will see your vindication and all kings your glory. Give. Romans 15:27. They were pleased to do it, but the fact is that they owe it to them. For if the Gentiles have shared with the Jews in spiritual matters, then the Gentiles clearly have a duty to help the Jews in material matters. Go. Genesis 12:2-3. I will make of you a great nation. I will bless you, and I will make your name great, and you are to be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, but I will curse anyone who curses you, and by you all the families of the earth will be blessed. If you want to support Temple Mount projects, Beit Lehem Missions Foundation is mobilizing Papua New Guinea, directly connecting you to Temple Mount. We work alongside Shalom Jerusalem Foundation, Be'adinu and Out of Zion Ministry. See the link below and send us your message, or you go to blmfmo.wordpress.com/contact or messianic7news.wordpress.com/contact. You will be directed to our Vice President or to our Deputy Director Mobilization, or our Administrator for assistance.
Messianic 7 Newscast broadcasting world news, current affairs, events surrounding modern-day Israel and the Jewish people, what the Torah holds for us, what is happening to the Gentiles. God's plan for the entire planet revolves around the physical and spiritual restoration of Israel and the consequent return of the Messiah Yeshua. Whether or not the nations realize it, world events are swirling around Israel and God's agenda, not the other way around. It is our hope that we can connect for you the prophetic dots between God's plan for mankind, Israel, and today's news.